being intentional is first. Like you have to, even if that means, and I know some people don't like to hear it, even if that means you got to schedule sex. Even if it means you got to put that on the calendar. I know it don't sound sexy because we we romanticize sex like it's got to be this a passionate thing that just takes over us and we got to do it. But I'm like, hey, bro, you got to schedule that. You got to schedule that sometimes. For real, I'm like, I'm trying to be.
Nah, you keeping it a whole
nigga,
bean.
I'm a whole.
It's funny
because
because
you have to schedule that Dre sometimes.
keeping it a whole 100.
I think at one time you were anti-schedule.
I'm the anti. I don't need to schedule it. That's me because I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna talk about it. Hey, you're.
Yeah.
Let's do that again. And see, let me just pause and say this. You said I don't be protecting as far as with the edits.
Intro,
you flopped
I did.
one time, and I cut that whole joint out
And started over.
You didn't even know.
I'm gonna go again. Take 2.
And I'm not even gonna keep that last floppity flop in.
I appreciate you. Hey, what's going on, man? And welcome to another edition of Melly D's podcast, where we have honest conversations that every man needs but rarely gets to have. It's your boy Melly Mel, aka Meek Mel, aka your favorite truth teller, aka if you don't want to know,
don't ask me. It's your boy T. Roy, your neighborhood hope dealer. If you need some hope, I got some you can borrow. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow.
What up, world? It's Dave. Dave has wings. I'm back in here. I'm doing my thing. Keep your mind elevated. Keep your feet on the ground. Subscribe to the pod. We're gonna keep polishing that crown.
Hey, in the building, we got Raj on the ones and twos.
Big Raj.
Hey,
what it do?
Hey, we're going to just jump right into it today. This is another Cave
Part
Gang
2.
special. Yes, it's another Cave Gang special that we are sharing with you all. If you don't know this, we have a Patreon. If you want to be a part of the community, please join us on there. You can still join for free. Matter of fact, can you give it the lowdown a little bit?
Yeah, you can join for free, as I said before. If this is your first time hearing it, we do have, like Troy just said, Patreon. Look us up, Manly D's, on the Patreon app. You can subscribe for free. We do have other tiers for those that want to dig a little bit deeper, where we offer things like digital products, additional conversations, other ways to connect, some behind-the-scenes footage, other things that we be rolling out as well. So if you find value in it, pour into it. There are some people who do. We appreciate them, and they can share about that benefit as well. Also, we do have, if you haven't checked it out, the 7 Pillars of Manhood playbook, ebook that we have, along with the assessment, 7 pillars to how to live as a man, that we have up there for you. It is, if you're part of the Cave Gang, you're getting it for free. It's already up in there. If you're not, that is available for you to purchase, take a peek, or preview. The first 25 subscribers, as we promised, did get a special gift.
Yep.
So you should have received the 7 Pillars of Manhood ebook by now. If you have it, if you've read it, checked it out, give us some feedback. Let us know what you think.
Please.
If you want to take the assessment, you can find the assessment in the playbook in Patreon as well. So check it out.
Yeah, and with that being said, this past week, or some time ago, we asked our patrons, what are some topics you want us to talk about? And we do have a topic today that comes from our brother Kenneth Pratt. What's up, Ken?
KP?
Ken?
What up?
Ken asked a question of us to talk about on the chat. Would love to hear you guys discuss the challenges in maintaining your marriage with kids. How do you keep things fresh? How do you deal with conflict when your parenting styles might be different? Do you maintain traditional norms with parenting, or do you consider fatherhood to have evolved beyond what it has for the past 5, 10, or 20 years?
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
I think reversing and kind of backing into it, starting with the fatherhood piece and then backing into
Say less.
the parental
Okay.
piece. All right. I think fatherhood has definitely evolved over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And I think that just comes down to more access to information. The expansion of, especially just talking about young black fathers, like the expansion of opportunity, expansion of education, and all that kind of stuff. I think we're definitely dealing with a generation of fathers who are the most present, the most available, the most trying to figure things out. than previous generations, and that's no knock to previous generations because they had the circumstances that they had. Whether you want to talk about systemic issues or just access to opportunity, access to information, whatever it was. I actually think we need to do more work to bridge that gap between generations and had an intergenerational dialogue amongst men to be able to allow space for people to, forgive, defend, chat through, praise, all those types of things. Because I think there's also some things that generation had that we don't have, right, from a skills perspective. So, but I would definitely say that from a base level, it's definitely evolved with this generation of fathers. Not just saying that because I'm a part of it, but I think just the things that I'm seeing, the conversations I'm having, some of that small intergenerational dialogue that I have had in certain circumstances, there's definitely something different in the air as it relates to fatherhood in 2026, especially Black fatherhood.
Facts. Yeah, fatherhood has definitely evolved by nature. I believe that it honestly has had to.
Yeah.
Evolved. Kind of speaking to what you were talking about.
It had to.
It had to.
Yeah.
It's had to evolve. And I say that primarily, kind of speaking to what Dave is talking about. Fatherhood has had to evolve because women have evolved and motherhood has evolved. And I say that not as a knock to them, but in a nice way. As they have evolved, it has required us to start to take on things that we probably wouldn't have had to take on
That's a great point.
previously. And so even from just a standpoint of the workforce type of thing, that was kind of like our parents were, I'll say my grandma and the last two generations probably in front of that transition of women going into the workforce and different things like that. But still back then, a lot of them were at home, and so dads were working and mom was around a lot more, so they were doing more of the child rearing and stuff like that and as women have gone into the world more and taken on more work, we've had to evolve to keep up with that as well. So that means taking on more stuff with the kids, sharing more responsibilities with the kids, whether it's dressing, cleaning, putting to bed, feeding, all of those things have kind of had to evolve. And then also it depends on the type of job you have, the type of lifestyle you have, what you may be involved in. By nature, I do a lot more like child rearing than probably the average male, just because I work from home type of thing. So the last like six, almost 7 years, because I work from home, I've taken on more of the responsibilities of child raising in a lot of ways, like the drop off and the pick up, the getting dressed, the feeding, the homework, the snack, the field trips, like all those different things where you traditionally see the moms at. A lot of times when I'm in
I can
spaces,
see you on a field trip right now. Hey, sit down.
I don't even be doing that.
Hey,
Nope.
Stop. No.
The kids be trying to be in my group because I be trying to break the rules. I be like, hey, y'all want to go do I be like, y'all want to go do the little fun stuff? They be trying to be in my group. Yeah, I'm the fun parent on the field trip. I don't want to be there, but I'm the fun one. Yeah, I keep getting set up. Yeah, and I do that with everything. I be saying that I'm gonna find the green pasture for me in anything I do. So I just I be making it fun. So I feel like we have evolved in a lot of ways. And to be totally honest with you, I think at this point when it comes to parenting, the same way I feel about like roles and he asked about norms and stuff, I feel like we all need to just be doing the things that we do best.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a skill thing.
And just, you know what I'm saying, just because you give birth doesn't mean that you're more suited to raise. You know what I'm saying? So there are things that I'm good at when it comes to child rearing that I feel like I need to just take the lead on because I'm better at, and there's things that Sharita does better than me that I think that she should take lead on. And then there's things that we've already agreed just by nature of our kids. There are certain things with Miles that I know for a fact that I'm responsible for.
Yeah.
And that there's things that she has with Maya that she's 100% responsible for that I cannot help with. And so we've kind of had those conversations, like what are those things are. All right, as Miles is growing and learning about young manhood and learning about himself, there's things that I have to navigate with him that you cannot do, and some things that I don't want you to do, and I need you to get out of the way, because while you see him as your boy or your baby boy, I see him as a young man that's going to be somebody's husband one day, somebody's dad one day, that's going to be a man one day. So then I have to treat him as such, as he's going through the process. And similar to Maya, that's my baby girl. But to you, that's a young lady that's going to go out into the world so there's a way that you talk to her, there's a way that you handle her. And I try to do my best not to get in between it. Well, she know. I think she does the same for me.
Yeah.
when it comes to that, because sometimes she still be trying to jump into, I'm saying, my parenting and stuff and how I'm handling Miles and different things like that. But the goal is to have a shared understanding of how we're approaching parenting, and different things like that. But I definitely know for a fact that it has evolved, and especially because when I was a kid at practice, most of the time it'd be the moms. That's everyone's mom was bringing them to practice or dropping them off. You see the dads at games because the games would be at night. We play at 6 or 7, so you see dads at games for the most part. But practice and some of those other things, always the moms. And now with me, with my own kids, when I go to practice, I see a lot of dads. Hella dads at practice. We all just start hanging out, talking. That's how you end up coaching, because
It'd be the dads at the boys and the girls practices.
Dads at practice. Dads be at practice, bro. We at practice.
Even at the girls practice.
Girls practice. It don't matter if you got a kid out. If you got a kid out there, we at practice, bro. We outside. We at the games. We involved. Even with the field trips. I'm not the only dad to be. There'll be some other dads there. Obviously, it's more male moms and stuff like that. But it'd be more dads. Like over time, I've seen the amount of dads at the field trips increase. The dads at the events, dads at PTA meetings, or dads at school events, or different things. Like dads are showing up. Like I don't think people realize how much dads are starting to put out and put into being present and child rearing and all that. But it's definitely evolved quite a bit in a lot of ways.
Yeah, a lot of that's come, I think, too, with flexibility of work. So you talk about like work from home, all that kind of stuff now. So even if you had before, if your dad had a corporate job or whatever, maybe the mom had a part-time job or was working from home. Now that you kind of see that balance of like mom's in the workforce, maybe she has a job that's a little bit more demanding in terms of her being in a space. Dad was working corporate, but dad has that flexible schedule. So you got that flexible schedule to be able to move things around, be able to make things happen as well. Like I'm in a similar boat. We just put our daughter in daycare last summer. She's coming up on a year, and I'm doing, 90% of the drop-offs and pickups just off the strength that my wife works in a clinical setting. She got to be at the dental office at this time, and she got to be there till this time because they got patients and paperwork and all the things. Me working in marketing, being a consultant, all those types of things, I got a little bit of more flexibility in my schedule. I can determine where I work from. It makes it just easier for our system for us to be able to move around. And then, we kind of set up a system for how we handle things at the crib in terms of like who does what in terms of bath time and clean up the kitchen, all that kind of stuff, which I mentioned on previous episodes before. So like, it's definitely a situation where I think the way, to your point about just fatherhood having to evolve, is a great way to frame it, because life has evolved as a whole. Facts. The workforce has evolved. Jobs have evolved, women have evolved, and obviously the rights and opportunities that they have. So it just makes for fatherhood to be in a completely different place than it was 10 years ago.
You don't have no choice.
If you want to be successful.
I'm just like if you want to be successful. If you want to be a successful dad, if you want to be successful marriage, you have to evolve. There's just no way, especially this day and age. It's just not possible.
Yeah. So with that being said, dad's evolving, being more involved. How can fathers in marriages keep the marriage fresh, and how are the wives expected to, how as a couple can you keep it fresh with kids? I should say.
I have a theory. It's gonna be funny. It's wild, but I bet if someone did a study on it, I'd probably be correct, just from observation. I feel like if you looked at the marriage divorce rate with the birth rate of children in marriages, I can almost draw a straight line from the birth of children impacting the increased rate of divorce.
So more kids, more divorce?
Yes. I can almost guarantee. Because if you're in a marriage that does not have children, or you came into it without children, once those kids are born, both of you start putting all your focus on the children and not each other. You start putting all your focus into being the best dad, being the best mom, keeping them on their schedule, changing diapers, getting them to daycare, getting them where they need to be, who this, who that. Then you're tired because you've been up all night, child didn't sleep, then you got to go to work. So now you're upset, you're angry, you're tired. Now all y'all doing is nitpicking each other. I fed it last time. It's your turn. I did it last. She need to be changed. I changed it last time. It's your turn to change it. I stayed up last night. Now it's your turn to stay up. Now you start. All you doing is counting. At that point, you under a point system. Who did what last? I did that. Who's doing what the most? I do more with her than you do, and this and that. And then you start bickering with each other. So then you focusing all your time on work, and then when you come home, you putting all your energy into this child because, number one, you're happy to have the child. You feel like it's a blessing. You want them to be around, and you want to be the best that you can be at it, and all these things, which is the right thing to do. But you get so lost in it that you don't even focus on prioritizing marriage anymore. Like, you stop going, dates start to slow down. You start to stop finding time, with each other. And when you're not putting no focus on each other, so then you add into all that. Now both of y'all are tired. you ready to have sex, your wife don't want to have sex because she's tired, she been working all day, and then she dealing with the kids, and that's what she gonna tell you when you trying to, I've been dealing with the kids, I done had to cook food, I done done all this, and now you want to have sex, you want to do all this, and then you sitting there like, yeah, I mean, I do. Yeah, I do, I did all that too.
All that stuff you did,
like all that
turned
that you
me
did,
on.
like I did that too.
That part too, though.
You know what I'm saying? And like
Yeah.
I want to have, you know what I'm saying, I still want to get engaged and blah 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 blah. So it's like the amount of stuff that just changes once kids enter your home, if you came in without having any at all. It's just a completely different vibe, it's a different experience, and then it's a learning really for both of y'all, because first you were learning how to be married, you still learning how to be married, but now I'm trying to learn how to be a parent and learn how to be married, and now you're in this balancing act of which one is more important. And you know, if I'm being honest with you, not in a bad way, because I understand the process that they have to go through. When, for a lot of women, when they're in that situation, it's a lot easier for them to lean into motherhood than it is to lean into marriage, because marriage is hard, as we talked about, and it's a lot easier to lean into the care of something that you birthed than it is to lean into something where you probably have to change, and there's things about you that you have to fix, or a different way that you have to approach something. So then you start to feel like the attention that she would have been giving you is starting to shift to the child. So you feel like you're becoming less of a priority. When she wakes up in the morning before the child was born, first thing most of the time that she was thinking about was, how can I do for my husband today? How can I make him happy today? What can I take care of for him today? And we work that stuff out. Then when that baby is born, or them children are born, when I wake up, the first thing on my mind is this child. I go through this, I go through that. They need me for this, they need me for that. He's a grown man, he'll be all right, he can take care of that himself. So then you start to move down on the priority list, and you can feel it. It's a shift that takes place in the home, and it's hard for you. In the beginning, it's hard because you feel like you wouldn't even have the kids if it wasn't for me. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have the child, and then now you're making the child more important than me. And where am I in this home now if all your attention is going over there, and you feel like you don't need to tend to me because I'm grown and I'm doing everything by myself? And so then you start to feel lost in your own home. Like, where am I on your priority list? Where am I in your thinking when you wake up? Because when I look over, you know, at you, I still see my wife. I still see the person I want to connect with. I still see my girl. I still see, you know, all these things, and I want to engage with you in that way. And maybe it's different for us because we didn't have to go through the process, you know, of carrying that child for 9 months and feeling the kicks and doing all. We watched it, but we didn't have to experience it. So for us, or I'll say me, I'm not gonna say us, I found a lot of times it's a lot easier for me to separate my children from my wife.
Yep.
My kids are over here, but this is my girl. And I'll, you know, tell my kids the same way, like, I'm your daddy, but this is my girl.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, this, you know,
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna be a dad, I'm gonna be the best dad that I can be, but there's never gonna be a time for me where I don't have enough energy for my girl. Like, I'm never too tired, you know what I'm saying, for that. And for, I guess, me, I feel like that's where the disconnect comes, where a lot of men, I'm just gonna say, because I hear what they say, kind of feel like me too. They like, I'm never gonna not have enough energy for my girl, but why does she feel like she doesn't have enough energy for me just because we have kids? You know, it's different, you know, different thing like that. So there is a dynamic, there is a shift that happens in the home when kids are born, you know, after you've been married for a length of time, that you do have to go through and grow through. And that's why I said on the last one, is like, you really have to, in that first year, if you don't have no kids,
Enjoy it.
enjoy each other, because once things change, they're gonna change.
And
And
there
if
ain't
you
no
want to
going
keep
back.
things fresh, you're gonna have to be so intentional with it. I'm talking about like dogmatic intentional with it, because if you're not, you're just gonna fall into a system, rhythm, status quo. This is just how we do things. This is just how things happen. Interaction is gonna become, only time we talk is if we talking about the kids or we talking about work. We don't even get to talk about us no more.
Yeah.
Different things like that. So it's like, you have to be very vigilant about prioritizing, like, yeah, we got kids, we got work, but I'm gonna make time for this, you know what I'm saying, thing. And you know,
So your advice would be to be intentional.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100.
How do you be intentional?
I'm saying this from experience, and I'm also saying it because I'm actively learning it now too. Because Sharita and I have not always been intentional about making sure we go on dates, making sure it's just us when we do stuff, because you get into the rhythm. You pick up, drop off, practice, homework, and you just do, you know what I'm saying, the stuff. And so what we've been doing recently is like literally putting on the calendar, these 2 days out the month are date night. It's on the calendar. We gonna do it. We scheduling it. That means we have to do it. And so before it was kind of just happenstance, like on a whim. But we'd be like, oh, you trying to go on a date? You trying to go? And then if you do that, we were never going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't go on a date.
Actually putting it on
on the family calendar.
We are going to do this. Yeah.
This
Because you
day
put
is
everything
date
else
night.
on the family calendar.
Everything else go on the family calendar. And so we actively starting to do that now, even with the kids, even with like, this is family time. This is when we gonna hang out.
Yeah.
This is what we, you know what I'm saying, what we gonna do. And so that allows us to keep things fresh and to date and do all these things, or just be spontaneous, you know, with different things. Spontaneity, I think, has helped us keep things fresh because we, you know, surprise each other with different things or whatnot. But it's like, even in Jesus Christ,
Spontaneity.
Even in spontaneity, that is intentional as well, because I'm being intentionally spontaneous. So it's like, you literally have to commit to, no matter what we got going on, no matter what the kids got going on, no matter how many kids we have, we're going to be intentional with each other, because the kids are going to get up. They're going to get old and they're going to move.
Yep.
They're going to find their own things to do. My son ain't even left the house yet, and he's already at the stage where we're less important in his world, because like, I want to hang out with my friends. I want to go to the mall. I want to do X, Y, and Z. Where before, he would want to follow me everywhere I went. He would want to go with me to places. And now I try to invite him somewhere, and he like, no, I don't think I really want to go. I don't think I really want to,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, do that. And even that's a shift. That's a
Yeah.
change. So I don't want to pour so much into the kids that after they gone, I don't even know how to be married no more. So I'm like both of us are like real adamant, like, these are our kids, but we married. Like, and that's how we determined that before we even had the kids, how we were gonna approach it. And that's just, I would say that is being intentional is first. Like, you have to, even if that means, and I know some people don't like to hear it, even if that means you gotta schedule sex, even if it means you gotta put that on the calendar. I know it don't sound sexy because we we romanticize sex, like it's gotta be this a passionate thing that just takes over us and we gotta do it. But I'm like, hey, bro, you gotta schedule that. You gotta schedule that sometimes. For real. I'm like, I'm trying to be.
Nah, you keeping it a whole
nigga,
bean.
I'm a whole.
You keeping
It's
it a
funny
whole
because you have
100.
to schedule that Dre
You
sometimes.
keeping it a whole
I
100.
think at one time you were anti-schedule.
I'm the anti. I don't need to schedule it. That's me, because I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna talk about it. Hey, you're. I'm like, we, you know what I'm saying? So there are some people though who actually need to schedule it. So I'm saying, like, even if you have to schedule it, because I used to feel like that. And I don't have to put it on the family calendar because we've become more intentional about making sure we connect.
How you put that on the family calendar that the kids access? You just say mommy, daddy time?
Oh, the kids don't have no calendar.
Look at the calendar.
They got
if-
phones and stuff, right?
Yeah, they're not on our family calendar. That's me and Sharita's calendar.
Okay.
I'm not adding them niggas to my calendar. But no, I know some other people who were struggling with that, and they would say that, like, I'm trying to be intimate, but we got kids, she tired, this and that, whatever. And it was like, all right, schedule it, like put it on the calendar and say we gonna do, or make a commitment and say at least once a week we're going to have whatever. So then you leave room for passion. Like, I'm not saying Tuesday at 12. But come on, I used to be against it. I used to say that, like, why would I want to schedule sex, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then someone else pointed out and was like, hey, if it was Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. and on the calendar you knew sex was at 2, you'd be excited about it.
Have a great day.
Like, you'd be excited about that 2 o'clock appointment. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so after they said that, I was like, you know what? I would still be excited about it. You know what I'm saying? Because then I know for sure, like, at 2 o'clock,
Yeah.
I'm getting it. It's not a if it then. It's not up in the air. It's not at 2 o'clock. So if you got to schedule it. But then the other part of it is, and I'm saying this, I ain't simping on nobody because I had to learn the same thing too. If you want to increase your chances of keeping it fresh, nigga, help. Do stuff.
Yeah.
Like, don't just leave her to do everything. Like,
take
help
stuff
help
off
cook,
the
help cook, help clean,
100%.
help take care of the kids, take some stuff off her plate so that she's in a space to where she can be, you know what I'm saying, the things that you need her to be. It's like some dudes want her to just keep doing everything that she's doing because they don't want to be involved in it, and then want her to perform, you know, when they feel like it. And then when she's tired, they get frustrated. But I'm like, you know, I had to learn that too. Like, nigga, help. If you want to, I'm setting the stage. I'm running plays, nigga. I'm making sure you got all the energy. Right. Fold clothes, folded, laundry done, dishes washed.
Ain't nothing
on your mind.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing on your mind. Let's go ahead and knock this joint out. If, to be honest with you, it's not always good. It's not always gonna be sexy. It's not always gonna be romantic. It's not always gonna have the ambiance. Sometimes you just like, hey, we ain't done it. We need to do it.
Yeah,
We ain't
let's get
done
this
it.
done.
We ain't done it. We need to do it. That means we can send the kids off to play or something and lock the door for 20 minutes or whatever. They'll be fine for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We got to get this in, because if we don't, I'm telling y'all think I'm joking. I'm telling you.
Nah, for real.
Go out into the world if you want to. Hungry, horny, and frustrated. Go out in the world like that. See how your life is.
See how long you last.
See how hard it's gonna be for you to go back home. You're gonna be on Instagram, double tapping on butt cheeks, get caught up because you're looking at something. Now your nigga gonna be 86 weeks back on the IG model page looking at butt cheeks because you got something going on at home. I'm trying to tell you the truth.
Keep it intentional.
Keep it. I'm trying to tell you, you have to. Like, you have to do the work to keep it fresh and participate in the process, bro. I'm trying you. And I think the other thing is like, what's the best way for me to say it? Don't do it. It's fine line. Don't do it with the expectation that you're gonna get something in return.
Yeah.
Don't help out with the anticipation that you're gonna
like,
get something
don't
back.
help out just because you think it's gonna get you some coochie at the end of the night. Because
This is a completely different male. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is not the same male. Bruh, God bless. This is not the same male.
I'm telling you.
It was at one point we was like, hey, sometimes you gotta help around the house. It's like, yeah, I want to help around the house, but help me.
Yeah, I do. I still feel like that. I still feel like that. That has not gone away. I still feel like that. I'm just, some of this stuff I'm just saying is like things that I've learned over time that have made me more successful.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And then, but it also, like I said, protection is saving me, because every time that I started to do something, think that I was going to get something in return, when I didn't get it, it pissed me off and made me mad, and then it disrupted the mood of the situation. All of us had a situation where our wife promised us some coochie and then fell asleep and didn't give it to us or whatever.
Yeah.
And you wake up that next day upset. She tried to dap you up. Nah, nigga, I don't need
There's a bunch of videos like that. There's a bunch of videos like that where
hey,
you
what's
like,
up, homeboy?
You good?
Yeah,
What's
good,
roommate?
man?
Yeah, good to
Homeboy,
see
I'm
you.
your wife. Nah,
Nah,
what's
it
up,
was
homie?
good.
We
It's good.
basically
We
roommates
roommates.
right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we've been in them situations, and I feel like a lot of times it's been, for me anyway, because I was doing something with the expectation that once I do this, I'm gonna be able to, so it was just disrupting the flow. So then I just got to a point where I was like, you know what, I just need some of this stuff. I just need to be doing because I should be doing.
It's like
I should be.
It's like you say you running plays. It's like the same thing. It's like, bro, you gonna set your screen and you gonna roll. We're not gonna get a bucket every time. You know what I'm saying?
All right, say less.
Yeah, we're not gonna get a bucket every time. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna run the play, and we're gonna be consistent about running the play, and then you'll score. Sometimes just
say
score.
less.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate you, Troy. Yeah,
You ain't gonna have nobody yelling at me.
No, she's not gonna be yelling. They not gonna be yelling.
You good?
You ain't gonna.
Yeah, I'm about to slide.
Oh, okay. All right.
We was having a good conversation.
We was. You was
I
cooking.
was
That's why I
letting
just
you
let you
cook. You was
cook. I'm
cooking.
gonna still be
No,
here.
it's
So I'm
cool.
letting you
Yeah, no,
cook.
it's cool. No, it's cool. Yeah. No, I'm gonna check on it. I'm about to go.
All right.
Talk to the people before you leave out.
for real. What was we talking about?
We talking about keeping it fresh in the first year.
Yeah. So I think everything that you said, you just gave us like straight bars. I think in terms of like some tactical things, one of the things that we've learned is like, and again, this gets to something I touched on the last episode when we was talking about marriage in general and individuality and people being singled out, is the importance of community and multi-generational households. My wife is not the most trusting, like most women are not, with their children and wanting there to be like who you gonna people like who's gonna be around, who's gonna this, that, and the third. So I think my in-laws and my parents have been like super helpful in terms of us being able to make time to keep things fresh, go out, do whatever, whether it's for us individually or for us together. 'Cause that's the other thing too, is you got to make time for yourself to be able to make time for the time for y'all together. Facts. It's tough when you're only making time for it to just be y'all and you're not making time to go to the gym, to, you know what I'm saying, to do whatever it is, play your hobby, play the game, whatever it is as well.
All right, y'all, I'm out. Hey, my son got a game. I gotta be there for my kids. Appreciate the cave. I'm gonna go holler at my man real quick. Check on the game.
No doubt, man.
I'll see y'all later.
See, this is a prime example of what we was talking
Exactly.
about. It's a prime example. You got to prioritize the things you got to prioritize.
You do, man. I can't be on here talking about manly dudes and I'm not taking care of my home, bro. So
Right.
I want to be here, but my son more important, so I gotta go support.
Exactly.
My man,
And we can hold it down.
Hey, shout out to Cave, yo.
100%.
Shout out to the cave. We appreciate you, man.
No doubt.
But yeah, this is a prime example of being able to take care of the things that you need to take care of when you need to take care of them, and getting to the points of when you got to say no to some things and say yes to some others.
100%. But yeah, so I was saying like in-laws, the importance of community. Because another thing too is like, you got things going on financially, you might not be able to always pay for a babysitter. Mm-hmm. So it's helpful to have the people in your godparents, you know what I'm saying? Like being
what
able to.
What babysitters going for nowadays?
You asking the wrong one, because I've been giving them to the grandparents. But I wouldn't be able to tell you. I would not be able to tell you how much a babysitter costs, because she's going to them grandparents every single time, and even it's about to start being the godparents too. So that's where we at with it, is like being able to lean on community to be able to create some time to be able to, make sure we keeping things fresh. Honestly, it's something that we still working on and trying to figure out, just because it is such a new space. 2 years went by like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's tough to think about how much time has passed. And also when you add in like the other layers of some of the things of life, are just like transitions with jobs and things like that, it can be very, very tough. One of the things that when Mel was talking, another thing that came to mind was, is the quote that like, even if you're not actively creating culture, like culture is being created. I always talk about the culture of a home. Like what are the rules? What are the bylaws? What are the, not really like rules or bylaws, and like, what are the standards? How do we operate? What do we talk about? Like, how are we handling our home? Mm-hmm. So I always talk about creating culture. I use that through that lens of creating culture of a home in the same way that you would in like, a company or something like that, just because that's like my space or whatever. So yeah, I always think about like as a part of that, as a part of what were we talking about before?
We talked about your wife being not trusting and everyone taking care of the kid, and then I think we were moving into like the community of building culture around your marriage and stuff, things of that nature.
I don't know where I was going.
And you was built, and I know you mentioned the in-laws and things like that. Like that is also a part of the building the culture around, for your children and stuff.
For sure, yeah. I missed my point.
That's all good.
I forgot where I was going.
Go ahead.
Yo, go for it.
I was gonna say, I was actually going to build upon that culture piece, because this is one thing that we didn't touch on in our last joint when we were talking to our boy Hakeem, and that was the concept of making sure you build up the community that's around you.
I remember my point now.
Yes. So go ahead.
Culture is not. That's the quote. If culture is even when you're not creating culture is being created. So even in not being intentional about spending time with your spouse, about figuring out who a part of your community can help watch the kids so you can go do whatever with your spouse or whatever, that creates that, like, to the point of what Mel was talking about, like you fall into these rhythms. That's culture being created in your home. You can either be intentional about the culture that you want in your home and how you operate and how you allow for your kids to influence that, or not. But either way, that's going to create a culture for the space that you exist in. That's the point I was going to make.
That's good stuff. Yeah, you're 100% right. My homeboy, my best friend, live in Harrisonburg. He was sharing with me, the culture that they've created in their household is now bleeding outside of their household, and it's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. So, God-fearing family. Husband is the pastor of the church. Wife is the co-pastor, executive pastor of the church. And their children are like engulfed in this spiritual formation that is just is beautiful. And the kids have their own personality too. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're and I'm not trying to bang on anybody who may be labeled it as. I don't see them as being typical PKs. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's like constrained, feel like they're trying to break free and have freedom and stuff like that. Like these are true kids that love the Lord, right? So of course, just like normal kids, they are in the neighborhood playing games and stuff like that, and having fun and stuff like that. But eventually got to the point where the middle kid, Chip, he was like, did you read your Bible today? And it was like, I don't have a Bible. You don't have a Bible? Oh, we're gonna make that happen. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, the culture that's created inside of his family is now bleeding out into the community, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I think if we start to see the culture that we cultivate inside, if we see it as, how is this going to impact the world outside, I think we would change the way that we would actually formulate and how we do things and how we display things inside of our household.
No, for sure. I mean, even just like simple stuff like being able to, teaching your kids manners and stuff like that. Like,
Oh my gosh,
just trying
bro.
to keep, just trying to like, even at the age of like, almost 2, it's like, yo, how do we ask for things? It's
Yes.
like we say please.
Yes.
When you get something when somebody gives you something, you say thank you.
Yes.
And make, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause, toddler's age is a whole nother thing. In terms of like them learning and they're getting words and the emotions that are coming around with things, like they still have the frustrations and the emotions of like when they were in the infant stage, but now they have a little bit of words to go along with it too. So now it's like I know what you might be thinking, but I need you, or what you might want, but I need you to use your words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those types of things can allow for everything that is related back, like again, it's just to the culture of creating space. Like it's the same thing of like one thing we're trying to do now, or we're moving towards now, and have been moving for over the last year or so. It's just like we sitting down, we eating dinner as a family at a table, and it's putting baby girl in her seat, and you may be done eating, or you may start playing around and messing with your food. Mommy and daddy are still eating.
Yeah.
Mommy and daddy are still having a conversation.
Yeah.
You can't get out of your chair until we are done eating, and then we'll, as a family, get up and go. Like those are the things that, like, again, just setting those kind of ground rules and setting that framework is what we're hoping to build on, so that we can continue to have space to keep things, fresh and all those types of things too, because it starts in the small things.
It does, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. So we've kind of gotten away from what we used to do. What we normally used to do is we would have dinner at the kitchen table, not in front of the TV, in front of the kitchen table. I mean, at the kitchen table.
Mm-hmm.
And at the kitchen table, there's decorum that needs to be had. So if you in the middle of a conversation, you're not just getting up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you're basically, are you done with your food?
Mm-hmm.
And normally when you say you're done with your food, you take up the plates. The whole moment is broken, and then you can all go your separate ways. Bro, we was sitting on the couch one night, we was eating, I'm talking about, and it was so chill, like, because we didn't have that formal setting of the table. I got up in the middle of the conversation while my wife was talking and just zoned out and left the room. Now it was, I'm exaggerating, but still, it's like she was in a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't wait to the conclusion. I waited to a period.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two different things.
Nah, 100%.
I waited till you gave that last sentence. It's like, all right, I'm going to go do my thing. And I didn't wait for the conclusion. And so it's so amazing. Like you just said, in the little things, you create a culture within inside of the household.
100%. What was the back half of his question? I want to make sure we covered all of it.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Fresh.
So he also said that how do you deal with conflict?
Oh yeah, conflict when your parents
parenting styles are different. Good question, Ken.
Yeah, that's something so fresh for us, man. We male and all the wisdom. There's a lot of the wisdom left the room. But nah, I think one of the things that
Did y'all have similar parenting styles, or are y'all finding that out?
It depends on the thing. That's the other thing too. It's so nuanced, because the issue, we could be aligned on this, but we could not be aligned on that. You know what I mean? Like we could be aligned on her diet, but we might be misaligned on sleep training. You know what I mean? And there are just certain things that, to the point of what Mel talked about in terms of skills, there are certain things and skill levels and tolerance. Like when we needed to sleep train her, I had to kind of take on the burden of that, because she couldn't deal with hearing her cry. And that's a part of the process. So we did, I think it's called like the Ferber method or whatever, where it's like there's a timer that's set. You put the child in the crib, they're going to cry, and then you increase the amount of time, and you go in, you reassure after these different time blocks, and eventually they settle in and they get to the rhythm of knowing that like you're there even though you're not there, which allows for them to settle in and sleep. So you may start by going through your routine. They sleep, you put them down, they fuss or cry, you wait, you set a timer, you wait 2 minutes, go in, get them settled back down again, put them back in, come back out, they realize you're not there, they wake up, they cry. This time you set a timer, it may be 4 minutes. And then you keep doing that until a point, and you have to do that sometimes multiple nights before they settle in to understanding that, like, cool, you put them down to sleep, I'm good.
Yeah.
It takes some time to I don't think it was really that bad. I think maybe like a night and a half. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know what I mean? And baby girl was good to go. But there are just different things that, again, you have tolerance and space for. So, I mean, what I found up until this point is that there's a happy medium for everything at some point. It's just about, to the communication piece in the last episode, is that, like, you have to be able to communicate because that's the other thing too, is you communicating and trying to work through these things with the fatigue, with the going through, with the going to work, with the still trying to cook and take care of everything else that you got going on. So the communicating is super important to figure out, like, what is that happy medium, or what are the things that we can test. Because you may think I want to do it this way, she may think I want to do it that way, and y'all both could be wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's also one of those things that it's just about communicating. I think trial and error is good. Being able to do the research, but not over researching, right? Like there's a certain point where I had to tell Lauren, like, stop looking at these doggone TikToks and these moms. We done got 18 methods on trying to do this. We just need to do something.
Yeah.
Try something, test it, see if it works.
Because some of the methods are counterproductive to the other methods that are being.
It's so much stuff that's out there. There's more information than ever. And at the end of the day, what worked for somebody's kid may not necessarily work for you, just like what works for somebody's marriage may not work for you.
Yeah.
So you gotta be willing to, like, test and iterate and figure it out, because there ain't no manual to this thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the strangest thing, bro. It's like you had that baby and you been in the hospital for however long, a couple days, and then they just you got a car seat?
There you go.
Yeah, you got a car seat? All right, bet. Peace. Y'all.
They just want to make sure you got a car seat.
Bro, they don't know if you got a crib at the house. They don't know if you got a baby for them. They don't know none of that. All they know is legally you need to have a car seat to take this infant home. Bet. You got a car seat? Deuces.
You're right.
And that is just that drive home was the wildest. That's probably the safest and slowest I've ever driven a car. We're having both of them in the back seat, just like, I ain't trying to swerve.
Did you take the highway?
Yeah, we took the highway.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't going ODing like that, but I was definitely all the way in the right lane.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, is just the communication piece. With the different parenting styles, it's just like having a conversation, identifying where the gap is, and doing a little bit of research and throwing that in there. And I mean, again, to the point of resources, like, it's cool to, like, have a referee or have some people you can refer back to, like talking to the homies and be like, yo, how did you handle this? You know what I'm saying? Because we tried this, like trying to see just get more information, bro. Because there's so much stuff that we don't know, you know what I mean? Because it's our first time doing this. So
I want your insight on this. So I don't have any kids at the current time, but I was a foster parent for 2 weeks. And
remember that story? Dig back in the episodes to find.
I don't even know what episodes that. Yeah, you got to dig in the crates for that one.
Yeah.
But we were foster parents for 2 weeks, and I noticed in that 2 weeks completely different styles of parenting. One of the main thing that came up, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So, if anybody knows me, I'm hip hop through and through. Like, you may know me as being a lover of Jesus. I cannot stand gospel music. Like, I can't listen to choir type, even
really
choir. What's the other one? What's the new type of style of CCM? Like, okay, I like it. It's not my choice.
Yeah.
It's not my choice of music. If I'm riding around town, I'm not listening to Jireh, you are enough. That's not me. I'm not listening to that. I'm listening to, I'm going to show you how to do this, son. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to Jay. I'm listening to Kanye. I'm listening to, Wayne. I'm listening to all that type of stuff, right? But not just them. I'm also listening to the Christian hip hop too.
Yeah.
Andy Mineo, KB, Bizzle, Cray, all them type of people, right? So, I listened to the edited version. At least that's what I did when I had the foster child in the car with me. I had the foster child in the car with me, so I'm playing the joint. Shaka's like, she's nudging me. She's like, turn this off now. I'm like, what? She's like, turn it off now. I'm like, what? I can't listen to the edited Jay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And one thing, sidebar real quick. One thing that Jay-Z, I know we don't like puffing them, was whatever. one thing that Jay-Z, Puff, and the Lox did back in the day, they knew that if they was gonna make the hardcore version, they was gonna make a radio version too.
For sure.
So but nowadays there's no radio version. There's
Yeah.
just straight hardcore, and you just bleep out, whatever. So
there ain't no replacement words that actually make sense.
right. So
Yeah.
like the whole song, Jigga, what's my Jigga?
Yeah.
He's saying Jigga the whole time. He's
Yeah.
not saying the other one.
Yeah.
But anyway. So I'm playing. I'm like, babe, this is the clean version. You know what I'm saying? She's like, turn it off. And I knew in that moment, I was like, we gonna have two different styles. Now we were both on the same page of like time to go to bed. Like, you go to bed now because I need no kid time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That like for us.
For sure.
But like I noticed in that moment, like, okay, we're gonna have different styles of parenting. And I had to realize it was like, okay, there are some battles when it comes to parenting that I shouldn't have to. I don't need to fight.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want the kid to listen to this music, that's fine. We just won't play it when you're in the car with us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like I won't do that. So it's like, it's some things that I realized as far as like parenting. It's not a hill that I'm willing to die on.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you ever been in that situation.
Yeah, a hill that I wasn't willing. Like, I mean, I think there's also like there's a price to passivity as well. So there are certain things that I think you definitely have to stand on, at least make it a conversation. As far as like, to use your like example of music, I think it was interesting because my wife in general is more like definitely gospel, R&B. Like, she has like just a more like chill choice or stance on just the music she was listening to, and I'm definitely like a Dom Kennedy, Larry June, Currency, Alchemist type of music, like general music fan, and that's kind of evolved over the last 2 years, mainly because of our marriage, but also because of having a child in the car. And my spiritual practice has expanded and grown too, because I used to be the same way. I'm not driving around listening to like CCM, and I also just exploring and discovering new artists and stuff that actually I didn't mind listening to.
Yeah.
Because and I mean, I grew up listening to like Christian rap too, but it's gotten like way better.
It's definitely got
So
a lot better.
I found like cats like Indie Tribe who have like a real like dope.
You mess with John Keefe and them?
Who is John Keefe?
He's part of the Indie Tribe.
Oh, I don't know the individual names. That's the thing. Like, I'm still exploring, bro. To be honest, I
No
know
big
Indie
deal?
Tribe as a group, as a collective. I don't know the individual members.
You
They
don't
like
know-
Wu-Tang to me. I know it's a lot of them.
Oh, you don't know no big deal?
You gonna have to put me on. I've actually seen that. It's spelled weird, ain't it?
It is spelled.
It's spelled with like a
spelled
Y
weird.
in there or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I seen his stuff before. Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, I just leaning into that stuff more. Also, I was working for a jazz nonprofit at the time, so I started listening to more jazz to get more like aligned with
sweet.
what was going on there. So that was like last year. So it's been a lot of changes in my music taste in general, to the point where now every once in a while I am riding around listening to gospel music. But the default normally ends up being like some type of Christian rap that, kind of fits the vibe a little bit more. And then honestly, there's a lot of silence that I ride around in too. I prefer the silence.
I'm noticing recently I've been riding in silence. Yeah.
I used to do that back in the day, even before I had a child, but I appreciate it a little bit more even now, because and even I have her riding around in silence sometimes too. And the interesting thing is how we have to, it really reminds me as parents how we have to create space for children to explore and figure things out. Like, we're so used to, because they have the ability to be stimulated all the time. Some people feel like they have to be stimulated all the time. But I will, again, there are mornings and there are car rides where we have no music. And what I've noticed is that because she really is into music, she has like kind of a musical vein that runs through mainly from like her mother's side. She will fill the space. She'll start to sing little songs, and like
cool.
her creativity,
Yeah, that's cool.
and her imagination will start to kick off because there's silence and space for her to think and get her thoughts out. And so even at 18 months, almost 2 years old, like there's, I'll say 18 months, at like 20 months, 22 months, like as she's getting words and learning to read and all these different things, like she has books in the back of the car. So sometimes it's like, it's off and she's like, book, hand me a book. And she can't read the book, but she's flipping through the pages and getting into the habit of like,
she's starting to exercise.
Exactly. So that's the thing, man. I think there's a lot of I'm not answering your question directly because I think that there are things. I think there are more probably spaces where I've been more lenient and things where I wish I had said something in retrospect versus things where I'm like, we actually have to do it this way.
Yeah.
Everything else has been like, I really have practiced me and my wife finding a middle ground that we're both comfortable with and can both execute on from like a skill perspective to make it a little bit easier. There are a few things that I think I would do a little bit differently, but for the most part, like we've been able to find compromise and conversation around most of the things related to our daughter, which has been dope.
That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah.
Any last words?
I hate when people use that phrase because I feel like I'm about to get offed.
Okay.
I feel like I'm waiting for the hitman around the corner. Like
anything left in your cup that you would like to pour out for us to take on.
Oh man, I just would go back to that quote, man. Again. If you're not creating culture, culture's being created. So just be very intentional about what you want to expose your children to, what you don't want to expose them to. And then recognize too that nothing's gonna be perfect. That's the other thing too that I realized in becoming a parent and then also reflecting on my time as a child is that you can try and create the perfect environment all you want. There are still going to be adverse effects to, like, your child's still gonna have that experience and be a human. So there are gonna be things that you're trying to create as a perfect as environment as you want. There's still gonna be things that they aren't gonna like about the experience, things they're gonna love about the experience.
Yeah.
So just do your best. Be okay with doing your best and be willing to accept and be okay with that criticism or with that information when it comes. Be willing to voice your perspective, but don't hold it. You know what I'm saying? To the point where like you creating grudges or holding, risks between your kids and your family because, they're not receiving things the way that you want them to receive it. Like, do the best that you can, create a culture for your home, and then be content with accepting the outcome. It's kind of like where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? So I would leave, with that.
That's a fire word, bro. Appreciate you, Dave.
No doubt, man. Appreciate
and we
y'all.
appreciate you
Appreciate
all.
the Cave Gang.
Appreciate the Cave Gang. Shout out to Ken for that question today. You definitely carried us through this podcast.
Appreciate you.
We're so thankful for you all. With that being said, we appreciate you tapping in. It's your boy Troy. Dave has wings. Raj in the building. That's your name now. Raj in the building. Raj in the building is Roger's name now. It's Raj in the building. It's the Manly D's podcast. We out.